Pearly Crochet. My name is Hannah. Today I have a crochet along video for everyone that I have been so excited to do and have been waiting for this pattern to come out. It came out a few weeks ago now, quite a while, and I remember it in the testing stage and I was so looking forward to it being released so that I could make it. So I wanted to show, first off, the pattern. So the pattern I'm going to be making today is Eddie Munson from Stranger Things. This is the pattern. I'll pop it beside me as well. The pattern is by Molly and Me Studio. I haven't tried the pattern before and I don't think I've bought anything else from Molly and Me Studio before. So this is a new pattern to me that I'm super excited to try and give you my honest thoughts. But it looks like such a fun pattern. As you can see in the picture, he's rocking out, tongue out, everything, which is a lot of fun. It took me forever to work out what the pink thing on his face actually was, and then I realized it's his tongue from this still. I'll put up a photo of him doing what the pattern is replicating, and then it also has a little guitar, which I'm really excited to make. When the pattern was in the testing stages, I was really looking forward to it coming out, but I thought I don't have any yarn in those colors, very hard to get in Australia. What do I do? I'm sure everyone knows by now that Spotlight came out with another new chenille yarn. So I believe it's similar to that they brought out during Christmas, which was incredible yarn to work with. I'm hoping they keep this range, but we'll see. I have stocked up, but I also bought everything that I need to make Eddie with. These are the colors here. So I thought I would basically do a new pattern in this video and also review the new Spotlight yarn together in one video and see how we go. This is the new yarn that hopefully will stay and will not disappear. Fingers crossed, let's all manifest together. So it's called Value Ball Stash Velour. It is, each ball is 100 grams. 6.5 millimeter needles they're suggesting to use with it, 110 meters a ball. What else can I tell you? 100% polyester. Yeah, that is about everything there. So this color is cream, and I bought quite a few of those. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how much yarn I need for the Eddie Munson pattern, so I just bought a bunch because it doesn't worry me because I will use it anyway. So, but just to show you what colors I'll be using for him. So I've got cream, ruby red, which I think is a gorgeous crimson red color. I also will say very soft yarn. I have two of these here with me, and this is the chocolate, which is really exciting to have a brown. Brown is such a hard color to get in Australia, and I'm so happy that we got a brown, like so happy. So there's chocolate and then navy as well for Eddie's pants. And of course, you cannot buy a bulk yarn without getting black. Black is very nice. And then I got a ballet pink, which I think is such a sweet name. Ballet pink for his tongue. And then this color I'm also excited about because it's so good to have this paired with the chocolate for like teddy bears, those sorts of things. So I'm really excited to have this. This is called Biscuit. Really excited for that. Also a really good color. I'm really excited I've made Aussie Osborne before, and Eddie I'll be making today, so I'm really excited that I'll be able to maybe make another Aussie Osborne. So yes, because this as well, very difficult colour to get in Australia. But yes, I've got 2 of those with me at the moment. So that is everything. As I said, I've got heaps more of the yarn in my cupboard, but I've just pulled out a couple of things just to get started on the pattern, and then as I need more, I'll just go grab more. But I did get quite the haul, but I wanted to do things a little bit differently with this new pattern and the new yarn coming out instead of just a haul. So yeah. Now, I want to show everyone, because when I went to get to my spotlight to buy this, we were actually sold out in most things. I think I picked up a green, and I picked up like a green and a pink, I believe, in person, and in store I quickly tested the yarn as well for fraying and those sorts of things, and I was pleasantly surprised, so that's why I bought some. Then I came home and basically bought all the yarn that I needed that was out of stock in person and bought it online. So I did want to show everyone, and hopefully you can see okay with this red. So that is the thickness of the yarn, and I'm going to give it like a good tug. Okay, breaks with a good tug, but reasonably firm unless you're pulling it like I just did. But with the frayed edge as well, not much shedding, not a lot. Compared to other chenilles I've worked with and other yarns like this, that's a pretty good shedding. Not shedding, I guess. So I did see that in store and got very excited and thought this might be a good yarn. That is the yarn. I will keep everyone updated on what it's like to crochet with, but I'm thinking if it's anything similar to what they brought out for their Christmas line, it is going to be of heaven to crochet with. It'll be so good. That's the pattern. Let's get started. Let's get started on making Eddie. I'm so excited. But yes, I'll see everyone in the next update. Hopefully I'll have a bit of Eddie half completed or a quarter of the way there by the time I update everyone. I'm back. I'm in a different shop, but it's still the same day, just a few hours later. And I'm happy to say it's looking so good so far. So I finished his legs with the ripped jeans, and then the shoes are probably my favorite. Like there's the tongue of the shoe, and I don't know, it's so cute. Like it makes it look very cute. And then done his top, and like the collar on the Hellfire top. So his legs and body is done. I'm now going to work on his arms / hands, then his fingers for the horns, and then again I'll put a reference image as to what I think she was going for with this pattern. Yep, so then fingers, and then his head, and then I might update everyone after that, or I might just do arms, fingers, head, hair, and then update everyone. And then I'll have the jacket left, the tongue, and then the guitar. Yeah, I'll probably do that. I'll probably go until his hair and then update everyone again. I have one concern. So the eyes on the pattern, again, I'll put it up beside, 30mm safety eyes. I only have 20mm and they're completely all black, which I think will be fine. It's the same eyes I used for my Aussie Osborne. My doggo's running around. So I think it'll be okay. And I'm just going to see what happens, see how it turns out. I think you'll still be able to tell who it is. But yes, so I'll update everyone again once I've finished sort of his head, hair and arms and fingers. And yeah, I'll update after that. But, oh, another side note is I am actually using a lot less yarn than I thought to make him. Like, I don't know why in my head I thought he'd be huge, but he's not. He's quite, like, still a good decent size, but I'm using less yarn than I thought, which means I'm probably going to have enough to make another one, and then I'll definitely have enough to do some other stuff with all of the yarn I bought. So I'm kind of excited that I get to make potentially another one, depending on how much brown his hair takes and stuff like that. But at this stage, yeah, going really good on how much yarn's being used. So I'm very excited about that, because then it means I can keep one for myself and I can also sell one. So it's exciting. But yes, I will get crocheting and I'll update everyone once I finish his hair. Hello, I'm back. It is the next day. And I am up to here. From far away. His hair took me forever, and I'm not like super happy with it. I mean, the point is he's meant to have wild hair, but I think I put too many ringlets, and yeah, but I'm just trusting the process, and I'll finish everything and then see. But he's starting to look like Eddie, which is good. You probably can't see, but on the face I added the eyebrows and the nose. This wasn't in the pattern, but I did do it, just because I do it for all my how do you say, like, humanish crochet creations. I just shaped the face a tiny bit, so I put yarn up through, like, under the eye, and then go across to the other eye and here and back here, and then you tighten the two strands essentially, which pulls your eyes in and down, and then it's up to you how much, like, tension you want as to how much shaping there is. For Eddie, I just did a little bit just to give him a tiny bit of a bridge to his nose, and make his eyes look a bit more sunken in, because I didn't have, like, the coloured 30mm like the original pattern, and I just have the black. I wanted to try shaping to make him look a little bit more human, I guess. But yes, but I found the more I tightened, the closer his eyes got, and then he looked a bit silly. So I did just a little bit, just enough to get sort of a bridge to his nose, and his nose sort of, you can probably tell more on the side there, like he's got an actual bridge to his nose and his eyes are a bit sunken in. So it just creates a bit more shaping. But I keep fiddling with his bangs. I didn't, I just sewed them down at the very end of their ringlet, and then, like, you can sort of play with where you want his bangs to sit. And then for the ringlets around, it literally was just like, I've just put one stitch through some of them just to hold them down. But I did grab, like, a few like these ones and just tossed them over and sewed quite firmly the ones underneath, and then only put one or two through there, just so, one, it's like floppy, like real hair, but and got a bit of movement, more movement to it, but also, like, I can still very much fiddle with the placement of where I want his hair to sit and what I want it to look like. So and as a perfectionist, it's never perfect. And then his two side pieces, I've just left. I didn't even sew them down, just at the cap. Just again, so that there's a bit of movement. But yes, so that was a lot of chat about his hair, but basically he's coming to life, so I'm really excited. I have the guitar, the jacket. Oh, I'll show as well. I have done his hands. So there's his 2 fingers, and there's his hands and arms. I have made a boo-boo, I realized in bed last night. I usually do all my arms and hands like this. I finish it off with a row of single crochet. I just find like then you stuff the arm only like 3/4 of the way, and it just makes them sit a bit nicer and everything. The pattern didn't say to do that. The pattern said to leave that open. But I thought, oh no, I'll do it my normal way, and kind of just did it by habit. I've realized though that his arms need to sit up, and that won't allow for that. They'll just flop down, if that makes sense, because so they're meant to be like up like that, and if I stitch them, they'll just like fall because they're like on a hinge essentially. So there's that. But then I thought, well, I can just stitch it, either put one stitch on his face through the hands, or just closer on his body or in his neck, like sew a bit of the arm on there with a stitch or 2. So I'm not super stressed about it, but it was just a little boo-boo I made, so don't make my boo-boo. But yes, so I've got to attach his arms. I've got to make his jacket, his tongue, and which took, as I said, took me forever to work out that's what it was, until I remembered his cafeteria monologue with everything. And I was like, that's probably what it's a homage to. I'm going to do that this morning, and then I'll meet everyone back here to show the finished product. All right, I'm back. This is probably my favorite thing ever. I made his guitar. Hopefully you can see that okay. I've left a little bit there just to sew it to him. But there's his guitar. And here is his jacket as well. And his tongue. So now I've got to basically sew him all together and attach him all and finish him off. I'm happy to say it used a lot less yarn than I thought. So I'll probably make another one of him. And I also brought enough blankie yarn in my usual thicker blankie yarn to make him on a larger scale. So I might do that and then just show you at the end the 3 of them all together. But yeah, I'll see you at the end of the video where I will reveal my finished pieces. Hello, I'm back. It is the next day after I left off everyone, and I finished 2 eddies in the end. I haven't done the 3rd one yet. The 3rd one will probably be for me. But I have a market in 2 days, so I want to get some market restocking done. Here comes my doggo. Market restocking done for that market, because then the next week I have another market, so I do need to sort of focus on restocking. But I did make the 2 eddies. So this one is the one everyone's already seen. This is the one with the new Spotlight yarn, which I'm happy to say is like their Christmas range. It's very easy to crochet with, minimal shedding. It does break a little bit easy when doing magic circles, but it's hard to find one that doesn't. But yes, and I think it crochets up really nicely. So this is the Eddie done with that one, which I think is really cute. And I spoke about how I did his hair. And then this is the Eddie I did with blanket yarn. So yeah, really happy with how he came out. Again, he used a lot less yarn than I thought he would, so I could probably make another one of him in this size, which is really good, because if he sells this weekend, I can make another one of him. The pattern was so easy. He's super quick to make, so, and a lot of fun too. So yeah, I'm very happy. But for Eddie's hair on the bigger version, I did do stuff a little bit differently. So I spaced the curls out a little bit more on this blanket yarn one, but he still has the wild Eddie mullet look to his hair still from the front. But I also, with this Eddie, I didn't, just flip him over, I didn't actually attach any of his curls to his head. I only sewed on the cap. I only sewed the cap, and then I did sew down his bangs a little bit, just really the start of them, just so they sat a bit nicer. But other than that, I've completely left his hair wild and free so that people can sort of mess around with them and sit them the way they like, which is what I'm doing right now. Yeah, and make them sit the way they want to. So yeah, but that is the blanket yarn. So I wanted to show a size comparison as well. Hopefully you can see all that in the frame. But yeah, so I'm probably going to sell the smaller one for about $60 to $70, and then the bigger one sort of $80, $90. Maybe even $95, just because he had, although he was sort of reasonably quick to make up and a lot of fun, he does have a lot of sewing involved. So especially the hair takes the longest to crochet. It takes me like an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours to crochet all his hair, and then to sew that on is a long, arduous process. So even though it looks phenomenal at the end of it, so I am probably going to charge that much. Yeah, just because there's a lot of work involved with them, but I'm so happy at them. I can't stop looking at them. And I really want to make myself one. I just can't decide what size I want because I have enough yarn to make another one of each in both yarn types. So I just can't decide. I probably like the big one, but I don't know, because to sit on my bookshelf, once I get room there with all my books, this big one probably won't fit, but we'll see. But yeah, so I'll link the pattern down below, as I've spoken about during this video. And yeah, that's about all for today's video. Thank you for coming along with me to make Eddie. And yeah, let me know down below what you think, and I'll see everyone in the next one. Alrighty, bye.